So let's try d together. So for d, I have negative 3x plus 4. So that negative that's outside that bracket, that's actually a negative 1. Okay? So I can take that negative 1 and multiply it by each term inside the bracket. Okay? So what's negative 1 times 3x? And then what's negative 1 times 4? Negative 4. Right? So you see what happened is it changes the sign of whatever is inside the bracket. Because we remember that negative times positive is negative. Right? And both of the terms that were inside the bracket, they were both positive, so they both became negative. So they changed the sign. There's no change in exponent. There is no other letter that's been multiplied. Right? Yeah? Now, how about the e? How about e? So I have negative 6x times negative x plus 2. So the negative times the negative makes it a positive. So that's a 6. And then x times x, that makes x squared. Now, just 1 second. I have a negative times a positive. That's a negative. 6 times 2, 12, and then just the letter x. Are we good? That's easy. Okay? We've done some of this before. It's not new. Now, here is our new question. Okay? So right now, I have two things multiplied together. Right? You see that the bracket and the bracket, that means they're multiplied together. Now this is called a, what do we call since it's two terms? So I have a binomial times another binomial because it's two terms. Right? So here's what's going to happen. Because I have two binomials multiplied together, the distributive property is going to work twice. So what happens is I hide this one, the plus 4, and I do my distributive property right here. So I multiply this by this and this by this. Then also, then I hide the 2x, and I multiply this times this and this times this. So I have to do my distributive property twice. Okay? So eyes on me, please. Eyes on me, please. So first thing I'll do, the first term, I'm going to multiply it by the first term of the other bracket, and I'm going to multiply it by the second term of the first bracket. Okay? Then I will do the second term of the first bracket, multiply it by both the terms inside the bracket. So let's see what happens. Okay? I'm going to try to color code it for you guys. So here's what's going to happen. So first I'm going to multiply. It just doesn't like me sometimes. First, I'm going to multiply the 2x by the x. Okay? What's 2x times x? You know what? Let's write this down. So we have to do 2x times x. Okay? That little star that you see right here, that's a multiplication. Okay? Then I have to multiply the 2x by the negative 3. So I have plus 2x times negative 3. Do you guys mind if I use bracket instead of multiplication? It's easier. Can I use bracket here? Because I like brackets more than multiplication. Yeah, I know. Now you see how the first term got multiplied by both terms inside the second bracket, yes? Now I have to do the same thing with the second term, so with the 4. I'm going to have to multiply the 4 by the x. Okay? And then I have to multiply the 4 by the negative 3. Okay, now let's try to simplify this. Now, for the first step, I'm doing this in front of you. I'm showing you that step. I usually don't show that step that I just showed right here. I usually go, okay, what's 2x times x? And I write it down. Okay? I'm just showing you what's happening. Now, what's 2x times x? 2x squared. Do you guys agree with that? Right? Because x times x is x squared. Now, what's 2x times negative 3? Negative 6x. How about the next term? Plus 4x. How about the next term, which is 4 times negative 3? Negative 12. Okay? Now, is there any like terms?
Yeah.
Do you guys agree that the negative 6x and the positive 4x are like terms? Why are they like terms? Same letter, same exponent. Right? Remember we talked about like terms at the beginning, right? So they have to have the same letter and same exponent. So in this case, I have the 2x squared, and then I have negative 6x plus 4x. So what does that give me? Negative 2x, because I'm 6 below ground and I went up 4. So I'm still 2 below ground. And then minus 12, right? So these two, they were added together to give this term right here. Okay? The process that we call here when we do this, it's called FOIL. Okay? So I'm going to write down the term or the process, and I'm going to tell you why it's called FOIL. So you're going to hear me refer to FOIL all the time when we get something like this. So FOIL represents the following. First, so when I multiply my first two terms, so you see that blue? That's the first. So I'm multiplying my first term by my first term. The O represents the outer. So it's my outer two terms. You see how these are the outer two terms right here? Right? So they're from the outside of both brackets. So O represents outer, so it's whatever is in red. Then I represents the inner two terms, so that's the inside. And then L represents the last terms in each bracket, so that's the one in black. Now again, this is just so you know when I say FOIL, you know what I mean, right? FOIL means you need to do the distributive property twice, okay, using first, inner, outer, last. And again, I usually skip this step right here. And I usually go 2x times x, that's 2x squared. 2x times negative 3, that's negative 6x. I usually skip that first step, okay? You guys need to know that, okay?